Special Counsel Robert Hur testified about the findings from his investigation into President Biden holding on to classified documents. The hearing was not good for the president, maybe worse for Democrats. Let's bring in the editor of Restoring America for the Washington Examiner, Kaylee McGee-White, along with criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vikas Bajaj. Thank you both for coming on. Here's a little of Joe Biden getting caught red-handed, some would say. Watch.
We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. We also identified other recorded conversations during which Mr. Biden read classified information aloud to his ghostwriter.
Why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
So, you know, maybe a little bit of a fib on that thing. This was for an $8 million book deal. Clearly, he's not going to be prosecuted because he's the president. But what do you think about the facts of this case as you see them with this hearing today?
It's really a stretch of the imagination as a defense litigator, and I'm sure prosecutors on the other side would agree. The breadth and the detail of the justifications to not charge President Biden with criminal offenses that are provable is astounding. It's very rare to have a prosecutorial agency outline all the reasons why they cannot prove a case. In essence, the 388 plus pages could have been distilled into one sentence. That is, I, Robert Hur, believe President Biden is guilty. I just can't prove it.
Yeah. I want to put some Democrats up there. A lot of Democrats bashing Robert Hur today, Kaylee, and I'll get your response.
You cannot tell me you're so naive as to think your words would not have created a political firestorm.
He didn't recall how he got the documents, and you knew that that would play into the Republicans' narrative that the president is unfit for office because he's senile.
You exonerated
a conviction.
I know that
did not
the
exonerate
term will.
And they talked over him, Kaylee. I mean, they wanted nothing to do with the truth. It was all about politics, as these hearings have become.
Right, and there's an indisputable fact that has come out of the transcript, out of Hur's testimony before lawmakers, and that is that Joe Biden did break the law in this matter. He did willfully retain and share classified information. He mishandled that information. And Robert Hur's difference here is he's saying that he didn't believe that a jury would necessarily find that. That does not change the fact that Biden broke the law in this matter. What also has become clear reading the transcript of this interview between Hur and Biden is that Biden himself tried to distract from his own violation of the law by leaning into the Uncle Joe guise that he's worn for years. When he was asked very tough questions about his mishandling of classified information, how did he respond? He brought up his son's death. He brought up his Corvette. He, at one point, bizarrely started making car noises. This is his classic MO. It's to distract and deflect so that people don't start looking too closely into him. He's a con man, and in fact, he's not even a good one. He's just a well-connected one.
Yeah, we'll keep moving here. Just some breaking news coming in. We talked about this at the start of the show, which is that the rematch appears to be on. Well, now we've been told that President Trump has now apparently won, projected to win Washington State. So we really do have a rematch now. Washington State, the primary, just called for the former president, 71.6%. It was a big number, and it appears that he has clinched the nomination. It will be Biden-Trump, the rematch. Now back on to Vikas Bajaj. Jonathan Turley said the following here. Vic, watch.
It was like playing the game of Clue and having all the murder weapon, location, the suspect, but Colonel Mustard just couldn't remember how he got there. I can't see how you could decline these charges and yet go forward on the classified documents charges against Trump.
Yeah, because the quote was Biden willfully retained classified documents, but apparently it's not going to happen for Biden. Let's prosecute the other guy.
So we really need to understand the difference between a state prosecution and a federal prosecution. In a federal prosecution, there are a number of defenses that are always available and sentencing guidelines that dictate to the courts what a sentence should be. One of those departures traces diminished capacity or person who was not competent at the time a crime was committed. It does not say you prevent the charging of filing charges against the person, but the person has a right to raise that departure.
Okay.
But in this case, contrary to that Department of Justice policy, proactively, the Department of Justice here through Robert Hur said, I can prove all the elements, but there's a slight chance someone won't believe us and will have sympathy for the old man.
Yeah.
That's a new criminal standard I would love to use for my clients, but unfortunately, I don't think it'll work for mine.
Yeah, Kaylee, criminal standards aside, I got about 20 seconds for you, but politically it just looked very bad for Joe Biden and Democrats. He was caught a number of times, even with the whole, Beau Biden bringing it up when he said, how dare they do that? And he's the one that brought it up.
He's lied about this repeatedly. And again, this has only served to exacerbate the concerns about his mental capacity moving forward. So to the Democrats who thought that his State of the Union address were going to solve all his issues, think again.
Yeah, Kaylee McGee, Vikas Bajaj, thank you so much. We appreciate it.